Okay, we now have 3 weapons. Whoop whoop. So let's complete the objective and see what happens. The cloaking device you whipped up was great. Those guards didn't even notice a thing. That was almost too easy. We practically just waltzed in. That's weird. Far less traps here than expected. You have to rate my Harrison Ford impression. To me, in my head it sounds really good, but your voice never sounds as good in real life as it does in your head. Maybe we're just lucky. Oh, look at those things. They look like control panels. Don't go messing with stuff you don't know. And don't touch anything. Could be a trap. But isn't that exactly what your job is? Messing with stuff that is unknown and ancient? Yeah, that's my job, but it ain't yours. So hands off. This mural looks like something I've seen before in another place. Just can't seem to recall. Really? Where? Guys! It was in this other floating ruin in a neighboring galaxy, I think. Maybe it's from the same civilization. Guys! What? So, there was this really cute button, and I pressed it, and now there's this blinking light. Cassie! I told you not to go messing with stuff. But it's shiny and red. What's this rumbling? The whole place lurched. Are the ruins collapsing? No, it's coming alive. What? I remember now, there were pictures of a massive spaceship in that other ruin. Those were pictures of this ruin. This isn't just a ruin, it's a spaceship. The locals, the guards are outside, they're gonna get attacked. You two get out, I'll stay here and see if I can pilot this thing. Or maybe find that quark before this thing blows. Are you sure? We don't even know how this ship works, or if the quark is really even in here. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm Harry Port, and there's no ship I can't fly and no treasure I can't find. Be careful, old man. We'll try and stall for you. I'm slightly disappointed that Harry Port hasn't once yet asked for his family back. Give me back my family. Okay, so we have an incoming boss battle, which we can't evade. Horseyman 17, thinking of space, has anyone seen the new Star Trek Bridge Crew game? Is that the VR one? Because I know there's a VR Star Trek Bridge Crew game that some people have been talking about, I think. Okay, let's do the boss. Are we prepared for the boss? What do you reckon? Are we prepared? I don't think we can do anything else if we're not prepared. We can still go to the hub before getting into the fight. So I wonder if there's anything we can buy that will up our chances. Oh, it is the VR thingy, is it? Yeah, something like that would be really cool. Well, how does the Star Trek Bridge Crew game work? Is it similar to Pulsar? If you've seen, have you guys seen Pulsar? I know we've played it a bit on Lave Radio. So I don't think there's anything I can realistically get the money for this particular battle. So hopefully. Star Trek Bridge Commander. I remember when that came out. I didn't have a PC at the time, but I kind of realized, was Bridge Commander good? I seem to remember, wasn't it one of the first games that had voice recognition control? Okay, let's do this boss. So we now have 3 weapons, yeah! And one of those weapons is going to heal the part with the lowest health. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good buff. Okay, alright kiddo, just buy me as much time as you can. I'll get this under... Ow, my back! Right. Okay, we've got weather effects. Right, let's... Oh, they've got a healing weapon too, so let's go in... Oh, our healing weapon only has 2 charge. That's good, it means we can fire it from round 1. I'm happy with that. Boom! And then I'm going to switch over to these weapons. Oh, you never tried it with voice? Okay. I think that's one of the things though. I think when like Star Trek Bridge Commander came out, even though they had like voice control for it, I don't think it was that common for people to have a microphone for their PC back then. I might be completely wrong about that though. Horsey117, you're not sure on Balsar. Bridge Crew needs depth though. I can imagine it being shallow, but great multi-crew VR concept, we'll have to see. Yeah, I think that somebody was talking about somebody was talking about... What's going on here? Why have I not got... Right, I should have... Oh, it's been disabled. Oh no. Oh no, I've got 2 disabled weapons. Okay. Well, let's protect my laser because I don't want that to get stunned. I'm also going to use... Yeah, I'm going to use this buff, seeing as... No, it probably wasn't that common. Yeah, I wonder what the voice recognition would have been like on it. Okay, let's do this. Did I not fire in the last round? Oh, who knows. Okay, we can now open fire with all weapons. I think there are a few early games that had voice command stuff, because we were talking the other day. I was one of my friends that came around for board game night. We were looking at pictures of old. They went to the Retro Game Museum in Leicester, and they've got an old Pikachu GameCube. Was it GameCube, or it might have been an N64? I think it was the N64 with a Pikachu, like a solid plastic fascia on it. And there was like a Pikachu Tamagotchi game that you could play on the N64 where again you could talk to it. It was like a voice recognition thing. But again, I imagine that was probably pretty unsophisticated. Mac N71, have they not added VR into Pulsar? I think I did read somewhere that Pulsar now has VR, yeah. Again, it's one of the things that I really kind of want to upgrade my PC for, because like I get really excited about VR, but I just know that there's not really that much point in me getting VR for my PC because the spec isn't up to it. Although Pulsar I could probably cope with, but yeah. Okay, let's finish this off. Although I suspect this isn't even its final form. There you go. Right, so what's happening here? We've got hull with 2000, we've got a weapon here, 30% chance of attacking twice, oh dear. We have a shrapnel multi-hit, although its accuracy is pretty low and its attack's pretty low. And we have a piercing beam which goes past shields, and a 20% chance to bash. I'm not sure about bashing. Oh, VR makes you ill, Mac N71. Funny enough, because I borrowed an Oculus Rift DK2 for a while from Grant, and to try it for Elite Dangerous, and I have to say VR makes me motion sick as well. But I've found that if I take the motion sickness tablets that I normally take, I can actually play in VR for quite a while. So I take these ones called Joyrides, which are non-drowsy anti-motion sickness tablets, which I used to use. I used to do scuba diving a few years ago, like before we had our daughter, and it became really difficult to go scuba diving. I used to go scuba diving, and I used to find I'd get motion sick underwater sometimes, and also on boats. So again, like a non-drowsy travel sickness tablet is something I really needed. So I found with the DK2, if I took the travel sickness tablets, I went into a combat zone for like 3 hours in VR and was absolutely fine. So do try some. Oh, you've tried it at Glasgow using Cal's kit, yeah. And walking around makes you ill, Horsey Man 17, yeah. I think there's 2 elements of it. There's your standard motion sickness, which is when you have a disconnect between the motion your body can feel and what your eyes can see. My understanding of it, I had another friend who gets motion sick just playing first-person shooters on a computer, and she did some research, and she discovered that the reason you get motion sick is because if your eyes think you're moving, but your inner ear doesn't think you're moving, your body assumes that you've ingested a poison. So it makes you throw up to try and get rid of whatever poison you might have ingested. And apparently that's what motion sickness is. It's your body's response to a potential danger. So taking motion sickness tablets suppresses that, essentially. Yeah, motion sickness and getting drunk on nitrogen at the same time. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had nitrogen narcosis, but I think it's one of those things I think you don't necessarily always know when you've had it or not. Someone suggested putting an earplug in one ear. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Valid. I've never tried that. But like I say, for me, motion sickness tablets. But then, like I say, there's two elements of it. There's the standard motion sickness thing, but there's also the fact, and this is where you need, I think, quite a powerful PC for VR. For me, if I'm not getting 60 frames a second, it's the latency and the frame judderiness that gives me the motion sickness. So it's got to be smooth. It's got to be. Oh right, an earplug in one ear stops you feeling seasick. Okay, interesting. So I think my primary weapon to take out here is this one. I think that one's the danger. So let's, what do we want to shield? Let's shield our healing laser. I don't want to lose that. Open fire! Yeah. Oh, what was that? So hopefully splash damage will now take that one out. So let's focus on the railgun because that pierces our shields. Oh, I might... let me just take that one off and I'm going to activate our ability again. Yes, yeah. I wouldn't recommend putting an earplug in your ear when you're diving. Dealing with pressure underwater is hard enough. Okay. There we go. Fire! Oh, so Macken71, you tried Chaos DK2 in your kit as well, but you didn't like it. I did really like it. I really enjoyed Elite in it. I think the thing I discovered was that I thought that VR was something I would use all the time, and I actually found that I used it like once or twice, but it wasn't like a definite I must use VR all the time for Elite thing, which is sort of what I was expecting. Okay, so let's try and min-max this attack. Let's put the laser on that one, and let's put the other two on that one. So Rift has some new tech to allow 45 FPS to be shown at 90 FPS. They've lowered the required spec based on that too. Oh, that's interesting. Is it like the 100 Hertz mode on a TV where your TV is still in 50 Hertz, but the 100 Hertz mode does like interpolation between frames to make it appear smooth? I wonder if it does that. What GPU have I got? I have a GeForce 660. Is my current graphics card, and my CPU is an what is it? There's a question. I think it's an i5 3330 or something like that. Something like that. Sorry, Macken71, I don't know what no don't means. I'm losing thread. Okay, let's just destroy this weapon then. I think we're doing pretty well with this boss. I'm wondering if it's got another form. Oh. Sorry, I thought you were trying to open the door. No? Okay. Oh, it's coming into self-destruct. Okay, so we've got 4 turns to destroy this thing. Let's okay, let's put the shield back on the hull. Not that it really matters. I wonder if that's worth doing. Oh yeah, no, don't use earplugs underwater. No, definitely don't use earplugs underwater. Be a very bad idea. I mean, I know I have heard in the past of divers using... Oh, that's really cool. So I used my special ability. I'm just going to explain what just happened there. So this heals the hull based on charge. Then it deals 15% of the hull's max. So you lose 15% of your hull after the attack. But then I think I got some healing back from my healing weapon. So that's really cool, combining those two. Does mean I now don't have an attack, though. That was worth doing then. Right. Let's destroy this thing. Let's blow this thing and get home. You'll read about for next week's live show. Okay, cool. So it's going to blow up in 2 turns. I'm a bit concerned. I'm not sure I can do enough damage. Let's just keep going. I am really not doing enough damage here. So I think whatever happens, we're going to find out what happens when it blows up. Okay, nothing for it. We're just going to have to keep attacking and hope for the best. Oh, they all, half of them missed. What? Self-destruct! Ow! What? I'm slightly unimpressed by that. What? I don't even... Seriously? Right, okay. So I think that means, I think what we've learned, children, is that for that particular boss, you need to focus on damaging the hull from the beginning of the battle and not necessarily taking out all of the weapons. Yeah. Awkward. Okay, so we can restart from the later